After years of speculation and rumors, the Nintendo Switch Pro is finally here, but also kinda not. Hey everyone, Demeech here, giving my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch OLED model. That's what it's actually called. Do I think it's a worthy upgrade? Am I gonna get it myself? And just my general thoughts on the system. So as I stated before, rumors for a Nintendo Switch Pro have been non-stop. Like, there are legitimately Nintendo channels on YouTube who pretty much just cover Nintendo Switch Pro rumors. These channels will essentially find articles which are essentially, my uncle at Nintendo said this, report on them like it's actual insider information, and when in reality, it's just not the truth. These people who pretend to be in the know are just making guesses. Like, I could say, hey, a Mario game's coming to the Switch next year. It probably is gonna happen. That's why I really hate covering rumors and why I really don't cover them unless there's some credibility towards them. Like last year with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, there was just a lot of reporting on it. I felt like, yeah, it kind of made sense to cover that. Switch Pro, I just had some ideas for, but I hate covering those articles which are essentially, my uncle works at Nintendo, like I said before, because the people who said this would be 4K, have increased performance and exclusive games, were totally wrong. Because this isn't a DSi or new 3DS style upgrade, this is essentially going from the original 3DS to the 3DS XL. What I mean by this? Well, the only improvements really are with the screen. It's an OLED screen which looks nicer than the standard LCD on the regular Switch, and it's slightly bigger. It's 7 inches instead of 6.2 inches. So that's pretty much it. The sound's improved. I really hope this thing has a headphone jack. I think it does though, considering the landscape we live in, where phone companies will charge $1,000 for a phone and not even include a basic headphone jack. I'm really not sure. But what I think of the system overall, because a lot of people are pretty divided on it. Well, for starters, I am kind of disappointed that it's not an actual upgrade like the new 3DS was or DSi. There were reasons to upgrade to those systems, though in this case, it doesn't really seem like there's any worthy reason to upgrade. It's just if you play in handheld mode a lot, want a better screen, want just better audio, it makes sense to get it. The only reason why I would get it is because the Switch model I have is a 2017 one with the weak battery life, so I wanted to get a Switch with better battery life, and just considering that it has a better screen and sound, I think that maybe I might get it for that reason, but I'm in no rush to get it. I might get it a few months later, maybe for my birthday or something like that, which is in December, because I learned my lesson about getting a console at launch with the Switch, because not even a week later, the dock scratched my screen. And speaking of that, I do have some legitimate problems with the system. For one, the Joy-Cons are exactly the same. Like, the color is different, the white looks really nice, but these are Joy-Cons regardless. Problem I have with that, Joy-Cons Drift. They don't work properly a lot of the time, and unless Nintendo fixes the analog sticks, someone has to do a teardown video, like jerry-rig everything when the Nintendo Switch Pro, or not Switch Pro, Nintendo Switch OLED model comes out. He has to do a teardown, so we could see if the analog sticks are the same. If they are the same, this is ridiculous, because Joy-Con Drift is a major issue. It's essentially a given if you own a Switch. It's essentially like a ticking time bomb. And you know what? It's pretty sad when I can make better Switch Joy-Cons with better analog sticks made of aluminum instead of the graphite the Nintendo Switch ones use, and add D-pads to the controllers with the shells and stuff, while a billion-dollar company just releases a different color and doesn't really do anything to improve them. It's one thing to have it compatible with Joy-Cons. They could very easily do that. They could have made new Joy-Cons, made them wider, had a grip at the back so they'd be more comfortable, maybe have a D-pad on the left one, because alright, I'm gonna ask you guys something. How often do you play the Switch with the Joy-Con sideways in multiplayer? Do you really often hand a Joy-Con to another person in tabletop mode like Nintendo has in the commercials? Because I find a D-pad to be much more practical in that regard. And technically you could still do it if it's wireless, it just wouldn't be the same as having buttons. But I think it'd be a lot more practical. So essentially, all this is a 3DS XL style upgrade with a better screen and enhanced audio. I might get it, I might not. Probably will get it just for the battery life, and I've been wanting to get another Switch for quite some time because, like I said before, the Switch I have is a 2017 one with a weaker battery life. So yeah, I'm curious to know what you think of the Nintendo Switch OLED model. I might have called it the Switch Pro in this video, but I'm so used to that. But, you know, at least I didn't go for the Nintendo Switch Mini, which cuts online and basic features and only has composite video. But we'll talk about that another time. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and keep calm and da-da on.